Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about meal prep today. So, what we find most often with our clients, especially if this is the first time that you've ever done Ultimate Portion Fix, 2B Mindset, or the 4 Week Gut Protocol, or if this is the first time that you're truly going all in with one of the nutrition programs, is that most people, ourselves included when we first started, tend to overcomplicate the nutrition programs and the implementation of those programs. You don't need an entire day to prep your food. You don't need to be able to cook every meal at mealtime. And it doesn't have to be fancy or complicated. First and foremost, I want you to let go of the idea that each of your meals has to be something gourmet, or that breakfast is only for breakfast time, or, chicken and broccoli and rice can't be eaten in the morning. Let go of all of those preconceived notions that you've established over the course of your life about each individual meal, and just accept that food is food and food is fuel. Now, considering that, what I highly recommend, and we have talked a little bit about how Ultimate Portion Fix, in our opinion, is probably the best plan to follow with LIIFT More, especially if you're new to all of this. So let's just take Ultimate Portion Fix as an example, although this does apply even if you're following 4 Week Gut Protocol or 2B Mindset. But we highly recommend that you keep it incredibly simple. Okay. Once you have a lot of experience with the nutrition programs, once you really feel like you've got a handle on them, you can step it up a notch in terms of maybe trying to cook specific recipes that you find in the Fixate cookbook or from the nutrition program videos. But in the beginning, or especially if you're incredibly busy, which I think most of us all, we really want you to keep it simple. My biggest tip is to go through your food list. So for example, on Ultimate Portion Fix, you have a list of things that go in your red container, a list of things that go in your green, your purple, yellow, orange, blue, and for your teaspoons, you have free foods. And I just recommend that you go through those food lists and pick out a few or several of the ingredients that you're going to eat throughout the week. For example, your reds might be maybe you choose to have ground turkey, maybe some chicken breasts, maybe some hamburger patties, maybe you're going to have breakfast sausage or chicken sausage. It could be fish, right? If you have, and think about the number of each of those servings you're supposed to be getting each day. So for something like your reds or your greens, where you're going to be eating more of those portions each day than you would your yellows or your oranges or your blues, you're going to want to choose more of the ingredients from that food list than you would the ones that you're going to eat less of. So unless you're somebody who doesn't mind eating the same couple of proteins several times a day all week long, right? But most people want a little more variety in their food, and they think that that means that they can't meal prep and enjoy their meals and have variety through the week. So I personally like to choose at least four different protein options. I usually choose several vegetable options. So I might choose broccoli, asparagus, cauliflower, spinach, bell peppers, cucumbers, and let's say zucchini, right? Don't forget about things like parsley and cilantro if you're using fresh herbs. I'm obsessed with cilantro, so I can easily fill half of a green of cilantro and use it on my food and enjoy every bit of it, right? So pick several of your greens. Your yellows, you might not only need 2 or 3 of those options, since you're only likely eating 2 to 4 of those servings per day. Once you've chosen which items from each food list that you're going to eat throughout the week, we highly recommend that you batch prep them. So instead of trying to make several different full meals to try to allocate to each of your meals throughout the week, You have the option when you batch prep of just grabbing individual ingredients. This helps you mix and match your meals. You might use your chicken that you batch prepped. If I'm doing chicken breasts, I like to split them up by a big container of them, split them up into 2 different marinades, let them marinate for half a day or overnight, and then cook them either on the maybe you barbecue one and roast the other, or saute one and barbecue the other. Maybe you throw one in the air fryer. But then you've got a couple of different kinds of chicken. Then you've got, let's say, your ground turkey. Then you've got, let's say, some shrimp, right? Whatever those are, I can grab some ground turkey and throw it in a taco with a corn tortilla and a container of greens. Maybe I've prepped some fresh spinach and some cooked bell peppers, right? I can throw together tacos for one meal. The next day, I could throw together a salad using that same chicken or that same ground beef. The day after that, I could throw the ground beef in with my breakfast, right, as a protein. So when you batch prep, you're just cooking these individual ingredients so that you can grab them and easily measure them in your containers without having to think too hard about it, and mix and match your meals for variety through the week while still nailing those container counts every day, right? When you're batch prepping, the other benefit is that it's quicker. So instead of having to focus on making one meal at a time, which takes a lot longer, I have done it that way. So trust me, this all comes from experience. When I'm batch prepping, I can throw my chicken on the grill, throw the other one in the air fryer. While that's cooking, I can throw some rice and some quinoa on the stove. While that's all cooking, I can chop up some fresh veggies, chop up some that I'm going to cook and throw them in another pan, and everything's cooking at the same time. I can put a mix of root vegetables or potatoes on a cookie sheet and throw that in the oven, right? You can be cooking all of these ingredients at the same time, which is going to severely lessen the amount of time that it takes you to meal prep. Additionally, instead of trying to prep everything for the whole week on the same day, some people like doing that. I do. But I've also become really efficient at prepping a little bit at a time. So maybe if I'm cooking dinner for my family and I'm making, let's say, chicken fajitas, I can cut up and cook extra of those ingredients and cook them at the same time and throw the extra into the fridge. So now I've got some fresh prepped food that I can use for the next couple of days. And every time you're chopping up vegetables or cooking some individual ingredient, you can always be making a little bit extra to throw into your meals throughout the week. Don't forget about your fresh vegetables, your fresh ingredients, right? So you might have cooked a bunch of vegetables to use through the week, but you've also got spinach that you can throw in, or romaine lettuce, or fresh bell peppers, or like I mentioned, fresh herbs, right? So when you think of food as batched ingredients and you either prep it all at once, maximizing your time in batches, or do a little, maybe a bunch of prep on one day of the week, but then also spread little pockets of prep throughout the week, you've really maximized your time and minimize the amount of work and effort and lessened. It's not complicated, right? This really, 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 this is the only way that I got through the 4-week gut protocol in the test group. 100%. I was 100% in on the gut protocol. I did not stray once, not at all. And I was working 70 hours a week as a nurse and administrator for a surgery center. This style of food prep and simplifying the nutrition program was the only way that I could pack lunches for 10, 12-hour days. I could pack all my food and get all my ingredients in because I did batch prep, just simplifying by grabbing items from the food list. You know what else it did? It helped me minimize the amount of money that I spent at the grocery store because I wasn't guessing. I wasn't buying a bunch of ingredients, making a bunch of fancy meals, and then wasting them, right? So please be empowered by this approach to your meal plan. Allow it to become more simple so you're not overwhelmed, and really maximize your results with the program, both physically, but also in terms of your energy and fueling those workouts, okay? So if you have any questions, post them here in the comments. One of us, myself, Megan, or Allie, will get back to you right away within 24 hours. If you need I've had my clients text message me while they're at the grocery store. They've text messaged me pictures of their ingredient labels so I could help them decipher whether it was, something that is a priority ingredient, or if it's something maybe that's a little over processed and doesn't have a strong place in their meal plan. If you're somebody who's more plant-based, my partner, my fiance, is vegan. Obviously, Ali and I we're both in the test group for the 4-week gut protocol, which I followed the vegan plan mostly. So we also are pretty adept at helping you who are more plant-based. So if you have questions to that regard, please just let me or Ali know. You can tag me at any time. Again, and if you have specific questions that need to be answered, quicker than 24-hour turnaround, just shoot your coach a message. If they need to reach out to me or Ali for some advice or some guidance, they will do so. But we are so excited, you guys. Nutrition is the biggest battle, and it is something that you should learn and know that it's not meant to be perfect. So if you slip up, oh well, leave it in the past. It's just a learning experience, and you get better and better over time.